So guys, 1000 days of sobriety. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I definitely never ever thought of, even never imagined that. I never thought I would be that person. So it's a bit crazy. But it's not that crazy anymore as in my previous video. My previous video I did it when it was like a bit like sometime 1 year and more after I quit drinking. So that time I was really excited. Now this excitement is a bit gone. It's a little bit also sad because it was definitely a great motivator. But after so long of being sober, I mean, for me, 1000 days, it's crazy. I don't need so badly motivation anymore, like to find motivation to not drink. To me, it's so clear that I never had in my life better flow, better stability, better emotional life than right now. So why would I stop being sober? So I have some notes for this video and I definitely want to pick up on some points. Well, very short, how and why I stopped drinking, what was the problem, and what are the positives and also negatives of stopping drinking, and what has changed in my life. My partner quit drinking with me together because it wasn't only my problem with drinking. We definitely wanted to save our relationship, and for us it was really clear that we had to at least quit alcohol. And we were surprised how much really what kind of influence alcohol really had on our relationship. A lot of times, a lot of bad things happened where I said, I'm gonna quit. But at some point it was too much. And I definitely knew that, okay, I have to heal from depression. I have to move on. I have to just fix my life. So the decision was to quit drinking just for a short while, for a few months, to recover, heal those traumas, fix relationship. And then after some months we realized that damn, it feels good. Compared to the last video, I definitely don't feel so excited about sobriety. So that's a bit negative point. Maybe I should just start from negative points. Because in the beginning, after a few months, after we were getting into sobriety, and really crashing months after months, a year, it felt ecstatic. The feeling of feeling proud of yourself and being so energetic, so excited about this whole journey. It was just giving constant excitement, this being this new journey, adventure. Now, I would say it's gone. We just it's a little bit sad to lose it, but I guess it's it can't last forever. I'm still really happy and joyful about it, but it's just, I guess it gives this also more space for grief. For grief for the times where, I had really good times drinking, of course, spending really crazy nights with friends, meeting up at bars, having fun, having laugh. Of course, I had really good times, but yeah, sometimes it comes this grief feeling of not having that anymore, because after quitting drinking, there were also a lot of friendships, if I can call them, cut, or maybe distance, because a lot of people can't imagine doing something else besides of drinking or having these kind of partying activities. I mean, I still go to party, but definitely way, way less. And not because I feel stressed about not drinking, it's because, well, it's definitely not as exciting as it used to be, but it's much nicer as well. But it's also not something that I want to do so often. And I guess sometimes I used to go out a lot just because it was also a way of having an excuse to get wasted, escape. And of course, that's not the whole thing. Obviously, I love to go and dance and hang out with friends, but obviously that has changed a lot. Another negative part of quitting drinking, I think, it's also emotions sometimes are really, really vivid. Now I think they're getting a bit more like, in the moment they are more like in a regulated, I would say. I don't think I'm fully regulated, but this is how I am simply. And but compared to the times of drinking, my emotions are just like way much more in a flow, and I don't have such a highs and downs on a daily basis. It's just became much more stable. But at the beginning, it was also difficult to deal with that because the emotions felt sharper because they were not, muted by alcohol. So, because I used to like get, if I was feeling really down, I would just like, oh, let me just get a beer, let me just get wine. I don't need that. And I can't even imagine, like even if sometimes there's a little impulse of, oh, maybe, like just muting this feeling, that would be so good. Yeah, this impulse comes, but it's like, to me, it's so clear the benefit of not muting that with alcohol that I would never do that. I just know how it feels the next day. I know this doesn't solve anything. Just like, I don't know, of not drinking for so long, to me, it's like crystal clear that I don't want to have that like way of dealing with difficult emotions because it doesn't do anything good. It's very, very temporary help. Another thing, social anxiety. Oh wow, it has reduced by tons. Like as I said before, like now, and 1 year after quitting drinking, I felt like, wow, my social anxiety is going away. That I could, without drinking, go out and talk to strangers. For me, it was a big thing, really. And I was just really shocked that actually quitting drinking was the thing that needed to be done to deal with that. Not drinking to feel better, but actually quitting drinking and facing that. And training myself to go over this anxiety of meeting other people or spending with a lot of people time sober. And so after 1 year, I noticed that greatly, how better I felt with other people. But of course, I had to put also some effort into that. It wasn't just like, okay, now I feel good. I had to do some learning and reading how to really face social anxieties or anxiousness that I had. And the more I did it, the better it got. And now, at the moment, I barely think about it. I still have some anxieties, honestly, and I think it's gonna be always like this, but it's just much better than before. But what I wanted to say that nowadays, already after 1,000 days, 2 years of not drinking, when I go out, sometimes I don't even feel anxiety at all. Or sometimes when it's a party and I'm with other people that I don't know, I get into this mode of being a bit of drunk. If the vibe is good and if everybody is just like in this mood and good vibes, talking and everything, I get this high a little bit, which is really interesting. That's definitely started not so long ago, maybe 2 years after quitting drinking, around that point that I noticed that I get a bit drunk from other people too. And it gets into this mode of where I care a bit less, where I laugh like crazy. But it's just like it never comes to this point of me acting from my traumas as I used to, or getting into aggressive behavior or behavior that I just would never do sober. So it changed basically. Things I wanted to start with negatives and positives. Now I just mixed up everything. Anyways, doesn't have to be so linear, right? So yeah, and then there's another thing. Like after so long of not drinking, I do feel like more like a child. And even some of the friendships that I have right now, because because obviously we don't have anymore this time of drinking, and it's definitely less of partying. So to exchange that with something, we exchange with more nice, definitely nicer activities, as like creative stuff, creating something together, like playing, like children. I feel like it just brought me a little bit closer to this feeling of being a child, where play is so important, where joy, where food, where walking, discovery, and this is what you share with friends. And this is really reminds me right now, even as I said, I lost a lot of friendships. I don't know if I can call them again friendships. Or even I didn't lose them, but I understand, like, for my non-sober friends, it's just also a bit boring with me if I'm not drinking so much. I mean, it's okay, but it's like a typical thing, You have to face that as well after you quit, that some people will leave your life. But that's okay, you will find other people, or you reconnect with other people that you already knew. I definitely managed to build much more self-respect in myself, since I keep my words. I don't engage into very embarrassing activities because when I used to be drunk, I would do that. So automatically my self-respect has increased, and my relationships got much better. Like with my partner, it's night and day. Basically, like, it has changed drastically, incomparably. And my health, I've never been so healthy and fit in my life, because I just feel so good. I mean, I am so motivated to do sports. I have time for it. I can stick to my word in the mornings because I don't drink at evening. I feel I don't want to smoke. I don't smoke. So I quit it and I stick to it also for the first time in my life. I have greater motivation to eat healthier as well, or don't eat, like, I don't know, crappy food, because, when you're a hangover, you definitely want to, I wanted always to eat crappy food when I was hangover. So, and definitely to keep healthy habits, which is really great. I don't know if it's coincidence, but since I quit drinking, I stick to healthy habits, and it's definitely like another addiction kind of thing. That's what a lot of people say. Oh, somebody quits drinking and then they're like gym freaks. It happened a little bit this way, definitely. But then it's a habit that I'm happy to have. I'm happy to have this addiction. I mean, if it just, of course, what is addiction? It doesn't harm me. I can still live without sports. But I'm just so deeply motivated, and I have time and energy, and I have already developed a habit, and I'm happy to have this habit. Like, who wouldn't be? I do sometimes crave alcohol because of more of the social settings. Like last year on the New Year, which was almost a year ago, I was just like wishing to drink. Like, I wanted to be a bit, go into the crazier mode, and just have this kind of like fit into society at that night, because New Year's celebration is quite big here in Berlin, Germany. So it was a bit, I had this craving quite strong. Other than that, really barely ever, except for wine. I love wine. I love good wine. And it's not like I miss drinking alone or even at a dinner or at home. Like, not at all. But like when I travel somewhere, when I'm like with my family and we go out to a good dinner, like in Italy or somewhere South Europe, where you can get delicious food with delicious wine, and not having that part really sucks for me. I miss it endlessly, and to get a good alcohol-free wine is very hard. And it's really upsetting. Like, I really hope that it's gonna change soon. Maybe I should start like a non-alcoholic wine business. What helped me the most, I think, in this journey was sticking together with my partner and doing this together. Secondly, at the beginning, isolating myself from party and friends. I don't know, maybe that's not helpful for everyone. I just couldn't see people drinking around me. I couldn't deal with that. I had no interest. It made no sense. Why would you go out without drinking? I was even scared. As I said, I had anxieties. So it was helpful. And then it was also helpful to push myself, really push myself to drag myself out of that and go out to party, go out to club. After a couple of years, I went to a festival for the first time sober, and it was amazing. So witnessing that, okay, it's possible. But again, like, I was with my partner doing that together. So it was kind of always this comfort of not being alone in that situation. But people were always really supportive. There were just a couple of times that somebody tried to like really push and, hey, drink. But most of the times, they're very curious about how it's going, or they're very supportive. Everything that I search in alcohol, like self-confidence, joy, peace, I found that in sobriety. And guys, I want to invite you to sign up for my newsletter. You find the link somewhere in the description or comments, and you're gonna be notified very soon because I am releasing a handbook to help with emotions, with some emotions, 18 different emotions that rise really quickly and could be a bit uneasy to deal with. It's a collection of different kind of thoughts and perspectives, and most of those kind of perspectives and thoughts were really helpful for me, especially during the times of depression, but still helpful right now, even though I feel healed. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this with you. More information are in coming weeks, but if you want to keep in loop directly into your inbox, just sign up for the newsletter. You're gonna be the first.